What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? I'm DeAnna Lorraine, and you are on Make Love Great Again. I'm your host, red-pilled relationship and lifestyle coach, and author of the book, Making Love Great Again, The New Road to Reviving Romance and Winning at Relationships. And we are here talking about politics, the latest political issues in America, and how they're affecting men and women, dating, relationships, and our country. So let's get started. Let's just make sure that the comms are working correctly, the communication with, we've got Periscope going, and we have got Periscope and YouTube live. Let's just make sure that the titles are showing up correctly before we get started. Hello to everybody. Hello from Bozeman, Montana. Nice. Bozeman, Montana. That's kind of far. I've never been to Montana, but I've always wanted to go. Thanks, guys. Okay, just checking on the Periscope, and then we'll get into it. Okay, we're just going to do a little abbreviated opener here, okay? We're not going to do the whole thing. I think it's a little bit too long, so we're going to shorten it. We're in the middle of a romance apocalypse. There are more single adults than ever before. Marriage is on the decline. The birth rate is at the lowest point in history. People are not connecting and forming real relationships. For the first time in human history, the very concepts of marriage and romance, God, the family, gender, and even our national anthem are under attack. Our American values have been slowly deteriorating and replaced with liberal, progressive values. We are in the middle of not only the romance apocalypse, but a war on our very souls. Speaking the truth is called hate speech. Patriotism is now called racism. Believing in God makes you a bigot. The current state of America is directly intertwined with the current state of our relationships. We are actively enslaving ourselves into a loveless, joyless, genderless future. Men and women of common sense and a moral compass need to wake up to the destructive madness that is being thrust upon us in the name of progressiveness and political correctness, and look ahead to where this ideology and agenda are ultimately taking us. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so what do you guys think, by the way, about the opener? I know some of you guys have been commenting that it's a little bit, maybe it's a little bit too long, that it's a little bit too lengthy at the beginning. Maybe I should cut it in half or so. It's just got so many great things in it that represent me and what I do and what my show's about and what my mission is about. So I'm trying to think of how to cut it down, but there's probably a couple of things I could do to cut it down to maybe 30 seconds or maybe a minute or so. Or should I just keep it as it is? It's up to you guys. Your voice matters and your voice counts. So I want you to be happy more than anything. Let me know what you think and the thoughts there. Hello to everybody. Woo! We've got our whole Making Love Great Again family in the house. We've got Sam. We've got DJ, G-Money, Eugene, Samuel, Johnny Bravo, and some more peeps in the house. Hello to Periscope. Hearts to you, loves to you, and hello to YouTube Live and Stitch and everyone else. 30-second intro. Who Really Cares is here. And by the way, we are definitely trying to, expand our family as much as possible. We want to expand as much as possible and grow So the more people that you can bring in here, the more people that you share this show to, the better. The quicker that we can expand. And every time that you do a retweet of one of my shows, every time you do a retweet, every time you share a video on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Stitch, YouTube, whatever, every time you share something, and I hope that you guys do share every time I do a podcast or before I do the podcast, it brings new people into the show, and then we can just continue to expand our wonderful, lovely, respectful family. And of course, I love every one of you, but we want to expand too, because we want more people to get red-pilled, more people to hear the message, and more people to go from the darkness into the light, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's about reaching more people. Well, first of all, I just want to, you know what I want to do? I also, you know how I end every podcast with a prayer to kind of close out all the negativity that happens during the hour and, any kind of negative news. We always want to close with a prayer so I can envelop you guys in positive light and love. But what I also want to start doing is saying in the beginning, starting with something that we're grateful for. One thing that we can express gratitude for, because I think that's a beautiful way to start the day. Something that we're grateful for. And it, again, just helps us to get past and rise up the negativity and really remember what life is all about. Life is about the goodness of life. It's about the good parts of life. And we want to move away from the darkness and get our mind out of the muck as much as possible. So I would like you to say in the comments section, guys, what is one thing that you can be grateful for today? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have money in your bank account? A lot of people don't even have those things, the things that we take for granted. I know for me, I'm very thankful for all of you. That's one thing I'm definitely grateful for. Because without you, I wouldn't have the motivation and the juice to continue to do this podcast and to continue to spread the word and do my work. So when I hear positive things from you guys and I get positive encouragement from you guys, it helps me realize and confirm that I am indeed on the right track, that God has put me here for a reason and I'm doing my job. I'm living my purpose. So I'm very, very appreciative of you, especially those who have been my loyal fans for a while and loyal supporters. I'm really appreciative of you, and I thank you very much. So what is one thing in the comment section that you guys can put that you are grateful for today? Yes, like my show. I'm grateful for you and what you're doing. Oh, thank you, Eugene. You are sweet. You're thankful, DJ, that my children are with me and that they are safe. I thank God for that every day. That's good. A lot of people don't even know where their children are. A lot of people have children that are doing the Tide Pod Challenge, or they're doing the Walmart Challenge where they're camping out in Walmarts or Targets overnight and taking pictures of it and Snapchatting it. And they don't know where their parents are. They're out on the streets committing violence or getting into trouble with gangs. So that's a great thing to be thankful for. Samuel, something you're grateful for is a beautiful, sunshiny day. It's a bright, sunshiny day. Isn't that a song? Family, salvation, my church, family. Should I keep going? Those are great things to be grateful for. G Money is grateful for keeping my job at the Hilton Garden since 2013. Wow, that's fantastic, actually. That's really great. A lot of people, they don't have loyalty to their jobs anymore, or there's a lot of transfer over. So the fact that you go from 2013 till now with the same job is pretty awesome. Hello from Chicago. Yes. Hi from Chicago. I don't watch any other show. Grateful to you. Thankful for you, Johnny Bravo. You're thankful for Doritos. What would a cheat day be without those crunchy bits of joys? Oh, that's for sure. Yes, I am rocking the I'm rocking the red dress, and I'm rocking it for a reason. And I'll tell you that reason in just a moment. Let's talk about, you guys want to talk about the California election results real quick? California primary results. Democrats appear to dodge lockouts. I did vote yesterday. Woo! And I voted red, of course. Who else voted yesterday? Anyone else vote? Oops. I'm in the wrong one. Hold on one sec, guys. So, you know, the election results were a little bit tough to follow. The Democrats were predicting a big blue wave. And of course, there was an election jungle going on. There was just so many Democrats on the ballot that it was actually splitting a lot of Democratic votes. So the Democratic candidate was safely in second place in 3 orange county-based districts. Boo! Where the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee and other groups had spent nearly $8 million to prevent only Republicans from advancing to the general election in California's top. See, that's the thing about the Democrats. They just spend so much money on this, but Republicans don't spend as much, but Democrats do because they get so many donations. As part of the national Democratic push to win a House majority, party officials have focused on picking up several Republicans-held seats in California. Getting shut out of the general election ballot in some key districts would have diminished these hopes. So we got Gil Cisneros, the DCCC endorsed candidate, and we also Assembly young woman for an open seat. GOP businessman Phil Liberatore, who's a great friend of mine, who stressed his support for President Trump, was 5,000 votes behind Cisneros. And that really sucks because he is a great guy. He's a good family man, a man of faith, a Trump supporter. Phil Liberatore, man, I was totally behind him. Things look even safer in this 48th district where DCC endorsed Harley Ruda was in second place with another Democrat. Now, I'm not giving up hope that we can eventually turn the state red, but it seems like it might take a while. None of the results are final. California voters had until Tuesday to postmark their ballots, and the ballots don't have to arrive until Friday. So we don't know exactly, but we do know that it's definitely in jeopardy. And that's the scariest thing, that, you know, the Democrats just put so much darn money and publicity into their elections, and it's not looking so hot right now. But I definitely went out and voted, and I voted for Miss Erin Cruz yesterday for Senate. Democrats helped African Americans. Yes. Give up hope. I'm not going to give up hope. Yeah, Phil Liberatore is a great guy. You can't turn the state red. It's a blue state. Yeah, but it's, you know, we can be hopeful still. But here is what's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. If I can find it. Look at this, was in the ACLU today. Don't be surprised if Trump stumps in Cali for the general out there. How have Democrats helped Black Americans? Yeah, how have Democrats helped Black Americans? I'm pro-Constitution, and the Constitution is typically, most Republicans want to enforce the Constitution. I'm not even necessarily, I wouldn't even call myself a Republican right now. I would call myself someone who supports the Constitution. And right now, the Democrats absolutely hate the Constitution. They want to tear it up. They want to tear up the country. And I am definitely pro-country, pro-conservative values, and pro-Constitution. So what do I vote for? I would vote for Republican, at least to keep what we have going. Democrats created jobs for blacks? I think not. What about this? This is just so funny. The ACLU, the ACLU This is more of their double speak right now. Anyone who thinks that the ACLU is not just another branch of the CIA or the deep state is full of shit. Census citizenship question illegally discriminates against immigrants. How funny is that? How much doublespeak is this? Census citizenship illegally discriminates against immigrants. So basically, asking someone if they are a citizen of the United States is discrimination to immigrants, against immigrants. For the first time since 1950, the census will ask respondents whether or not they're U.S. citizens. Yes! This is awesome. This is good stuff. It might seem innocuous. Yeah, it is. It means that if you want to vote for our laws in our country and vote for what the future is going to have in our country, then yeah, you may want to be a U.S. citizen. That sounds about right. That sounds commonsensical. It may seem innocuous, but the addition of the question will have far-reaching consequences, and it will dramatically reduce participation by immigrant communities. Perfect! Stunting their growth, political, influential, and depriving them of economic benefits. Isn't that what we should want as a country? Shouldn't we want to give those economic benefits to, I don't know, citizens of the United States first? Shouldn't we maybe dramatically reduce the population and the participation of people that aren't Americans if they're going to decide policies that influence Americans? This is not an unintended side effect. It's the reason the Trump administration sought to add the question. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, manipulating the census to discriminate against and disadvantage certain groups violates both the Fifth Amendment, and this is all to induce fear. If the citizenship question is permitted to stand, other states seeking to further this nativist agenda are likely to follow suit. So now this is called a nativist agenda instead of even an American agenda. Can you believe that? Let's see what the comments are. It's probably stupid. The ACLU's hatred for citizens. Yes, great job, Keith. Illegal immigrants should not have political power because they are not citizens. That sounds pretty commonsensical, doesn't it? But no, we're living in an era where common sense and truth are considered hate speech, and nothing more, nothing less. Sorry to subject you to that trash, guys. America has to let in immigrants. Actually, no, we don't. We aren't obligated to let in immigrants, and in fact, we are overpopulated with immigrants right now. And in fact, we can't even take care of our own U.S. citizens right now, or our own U.S. veterans, where 19 million of them or so are homeless. Next thing you know, actual aliens from outer space will have social justice warrior movements if we don't create safe spaces for them. Yes, I agree. Comment sections are full of stupidity. Yes, they are. Mexicans have rights too. Yeah, they do have rights in Mexico. If you would like to have your rights, then either become a U.S. citizen legally or go to Mexico where you can have all the rights you want. Or maybe get off my channel. Just kidding. There's love for everyone. There's a seat for everyone at this table. Yeah, what country are you from, Franchino? Now let's talk about something else that is American. Let's talk about Miss America. And it's the reason why I'm wearing my fancy dress today. Yes, we are immigrants. Aliens should have a safe space too. Yeah, dogs should be able to vote now, right? According to you. Well, just to show how far down society has gone. An employee at Michigan State University is accused of having sex with a basset hound. Yeah. An employee at Michigan State University has been charged with bestiality and put on administrative leave after being accused of sexually penetrating this dog. Poor basset hound. He's using his penis in hand to enter a basset hound, Fox News reports, citing the Attorney General's office. The animal is reportedly safe and in the custody of Ingram. Oh my gosh, how did they even know that he was sexually abusing and raping a basset hound? God, that is so disgusting and sick. So basically, I think maybe dogs should start having the right to vote too, right? Okay. So now let's talk about Miss America. Miss America is scrapping the swimsuit portion from its pageant. What's that you say? Yes, Miss America is scrapping the swimsuit portion of its pageant. Let's see what they actually have to say out of their own stupid mouths, shall we? Oh, I love liberal lunacy. It's at least entertaining. I mean, it provides comic material every day. Well, basically the Basset Hound was just as a just to rile people up a little bit. Hello, new people, by the way. Hello, new people. Welcome to the show.
No more bikinis. Miss America is eliminating its swimsuit competition in an historic makeover of the iconic pageant. Let me get this straight. The beauty pageant is dead.
We're no longer judging our candidates on their outward physical appearance, and we're no longer calling it a pageant, we're a competition.
To boldly make the point, the organization tweeted a white bikini going up in smoke with the hashtag #ByeByeBikini. The new chairwoman of the organization, Gretchen Carlson, spearheaded the sweeping changes.
It's much more important to look at somebody and talk about their goals and their achievements in life and how we can teach them leadership skills and really celebrate the talent.
Carlson was at the vanguard of the Me Too movement, having successfully sued Fox News chief Roger Ailes for sexual harassment.
Of course,
I know all about the Cultural Revolution and the kind of courage it takes to make bold and brave decisions.
In place of the swimsuit segment, the contestants will participate in a live, interactive session with judges where they can talk about their achievements, their goals, and how they would use their skills in the role of Miss America. Current Miss America, Cara Munn, is on board with the changes.
I think it's really exciting because as society has evolved, so has the Miss America organization. And I say, as Miss America, since the night I was crowned, I've never worn a swimsuit. And we are looking for women that can fulfill the job and have the qualities of what it is to be a Miss America, and that doesn't mean wearing a swimsuit.
Also gone with the wind is the evening gown competition. That's being scrapped too.
Our evening gown competition will now be evening wear and give the candidate a choice of what she feels most self-confident in. So that could be an evening attire of a pantsuit, or it could be a cocktail dress, or it still could be an evening gown.
Carlson was crowned Miss America in 1989, and I was one of her judges. You were up on stage, and you were in your one-piece swimsuit, walking on the stage in Atlantic City. Take me inside your head at that moment.
This is so lame, okay? Here's why it's just so lame. First of all, feminists need to ruin everything, right? They always come in and ruin the day. Secondly, do you remember, I don't know, this? Isn't this the same people, the same feminists that say that looks don't matter, that you should be sexual, we should draw attention to women's sexuality 1 minute. But wait, what about this? What about the slut walk? Isn't this feminists drawing attention to their sexuality and to their bodies by calling themselves sluts?
Maybe get some tips on how to deal with slut shaming, figure out what I need to do with my pubic hair because it's a mess. Maybe get some tips on fighting rape culture. Maybe we'll end it.
Best day of your life? You need to get a life, girl.
I came here from Louisiana just to do the slut walk with my best friend who's getting married.
Are you getting married to a slut?
This is my 3rd year.
Woo, we have a veteran!
Yay, slut!
Is there anything, what's the slut highlight of your slut walk so far?
Just seeing everyone and their amazing attire.
These events are incredibly important.
I've never felt more support in my life.
To me, the slut walk means being
being who you are, true to yourself, identifying yourself regardless of people and the social norms and how...
Okay, so you're the same people that draw attention to yourself through the slut walk, okay? You're the same people that want to do a presentation in your underwear, like this Cornell student from a couple weeks ago.
Behavior. But I am identities and taps writing me and revealing to each other and to seeing each other for who we truly are. Members of the human race.
Okay, and you're the same people that want to do the Free the Nipple campaign and put your nipples out there, right? So which is it? Is it that you want people to look at you for your body? Or is it that you don't want people to look at you for your body? I mean, which is it? I'm totally confused, but this is the same people that decided they want to free the nipple and have women walk around with no shirts on because men can walk around with no shirts on. We are the people that want to walk out in public and at the same time say, don't objectify women for their bodies. Which is it, feminists? You drive me crazy with your double standards and your confused head case arguments. And not to mention, this is called a beauty competition. This is a beauty competition. This is not slavery. These women are not coming in there to be slaves. They're coming in by their own choice. They want to be judged by their beauty. They're not forced into it. They don't think that there's some trick agenda, oh, maybe I'll go in there and not be judged by my beauty. No, it's pretty clear. You're going to be judged by your beauty. You're going to be judged by your personality too. You're going to be judged by your talent, but you are going to also be judged how you look in an evening gown and how you look in a swimsuit. I mean, that is part of it, right? So why are we then taking away the core of what the competition actually is? Looking at people's beauty. Beauty come in all shapes and sizes for sure. But how a woman looks in a swimsuit is something that's been important to the competition in all these years. And these women are up for it, they train for it, they prepare for it, and they work hard for it. So now why should one of the things that they probably work the most hard for at the gym, when they diet, when they do 500 sit-ups in a week or in a day, is probably the swimsuit competition. And now all that hard work goes out the window. What are we teaching women? We're teaching them to be more like men. We're teaching them that beauty is not actually, it's not actually important. And it's a lie. Physical beauty is slightly important to men. And it is important in a way because it is, it can be a way to show someone's inner beauty. And I'm not saying that beauty is the only thing that's important, external beauty. That's for sure not. And when we're focused only on external beauty, that's when we're being an extremist about it and we're focusing on the wrong things instead of someone's heart, instead of someone's soul, instead of someone's mind, instead of someone's inner beauty. But we're also teaching women that you can just be exactly like men. And you can be 500 pounds and that's okay. That's going to be just as beautiful as someone who's, 150 pounds and looks good in a bathing suit. And that's not actually true for the most part. So this is what I can't stand about it. It's just more of this turning women more like men and turning men more like women. I mean, how much do you want to bet that this next year someone that is 400 pounds is going to win the Miss America contest just to make a point, right? Or how much do you want to bet that this is the gateway into having men join Miss America? And then they're going to just drop the Miss and make it Mr. or Mrs. Unisex America. This is what always happens. It's going to start being like, well, since we're not judging on beauty anymore, since we're not judging on outward appearance anymore, then a transgender can join Miss America. Then a non-binary person or a gender fluid person or a male can join Miss America and win. I'll bet you maybe $100 that they're going to start doing that. Then that's going to be the new thing next year. I would like to hear what you guys think about that. But I think that it's just like, it just goes to show you that it's like this everyone gets a trophy thing. This is a competition of beauty. And they know this very well signing up for it. There's no surprise here. And they want to do it. They want to be judged by it. So why are we then taking away the core essence of it just because they think that women are being objectified? And it's also teaching our society that women shouldn't be told that they're beautiful, you know? And I like being told that I'm beautiful. I love being told that I'm beautiful. I don't know why a woman would not want to be told that they're beautiful. If you want to compliment me on my looks, I'm more than happy with it. And I think it's a beautiful thing when a man or a woman can say to another woman, you are beautiful, or you have beautiful, I don't know, eyes, whatever you want to say. I would say that at some point you want to compliment them on something more than just the beauty, maybe her mind, or maybe her intelligence, or maybe her heart, things like that. But there's nothing wrong with telling a woman she's beautiful. And this is what these feminists are teaching these women, you know, that it's wrong to be complimented, and that we should not compliment women. We should shame people for complimenting women on their looks. And women are not about looks anymore. And again, it's also teaching women to be more like men. It's teaching women the lie, it's perpetuating this lie that men actually care about how successful a woman is. They actually care about what her 5-year plan is. They actually care about whether she's partner at a law firm or not. They actually care about her education credentials, her career accomplishments, how smart she is, whether she can verbally spar with him. And the fact is, they don't really care about that. Men are not, they don't really care so much about all these different accomplishments, how successful a woman is, how smart she is. They care first and foremost about her femininity. They want to be attracted to her. And they do care about beauty, youth, to a certain level, and her heart. Those are the most important things. How much heart she has, what her heart is like, and what her beauty is like. And it's a lie. It's just a plain lie to tell women that men are going to judge you by your intelligence and your career accomplishments. It's a freaking lie. And these young girls are now going to look at Miss America competitions, and they're going to look at them and they're going to think, this is what I have to be like. Women already at a very young age are having anxiety and getting on pills, and they're getting depression at record levels now. Why? Why are young girls getting depressed and experiencing anxiety and self-esteem issues at a young age now? Well, it's because they're now pressured, not for beauty anymore, but they're now pressured to be successful in their jobs and in their careers. They're so pressured to be the smartest one in the class, to be the most powerful one in the class, to be the biggest, most accomplished leader in the world, because women rule and women are the future. Women need to compete with men, be smarter, be powerful, be more successful than men. So it's causing all sorts of stress on young girls that didn't used to think like this, that didn't used to have these kinds of pressures. And now it's going to just add to it by looking at it. It's not just being like, oh, okay, now I have to be beautiful, but now I have to be really, really smart and successful and powerful and a leader and have all these goals. And it's diminishing the main purpose of women as the role of mothers and caretakers and supportive wives. Once again, this is what it's doing. Just note the sinister backdrop of all of this, the sinister agenda. It's this Jezebel spirit that it's concocting. There's nothing wrong with having a woman be beautiful and feminine. There is nothing wrong with a woman walking around in an evening gown and being ladylike. Now they're saying there's everything wrong with it, and she has to be smart, powerful, and a leader, or else she's not really a woman at all. Or else she's not, or it's really just backwards, right? Or else she's not considered a good woman. And it's just, to me, it's sad. Okay, I'm off of my soapbox right now. And look at this. We've even had, hey, these aren't the most brightest women in the shack, just as a laugh, but at least people can have a little laugh at it. If I can find this clip. Now, obviously maybe this woman shouldn't have won. Maybe she wasn't so bright, but again, we're judging more on their personality and their physical
on a world
appearance.
map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere such as, and I believe that they should our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries. So we will be able to build up our future for our children.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
Bless her heart. So, anyways, nope. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. What do you guys have to say about Miss America before we go to another topic? What about the girls who don't care about making money and being in a career? Exactly. What about girls that just want to be a woman? They want to be a mother. They want to be a wife. They want to be feminine. They don't care so much about career. It's a new kind of pressure for women that actually wasn't there before. They're so worried about objectifying women and adding pressure to women. And now they're adding a whole new slew of pressures to women. Do you think women should lower their expectations and aspire for less? No, I just think that they should be happy being feminine and being a woman. And I think there's so much pressure right now for women now to be powerful, smart, compete with men. They need to be rich. They need to be ball busters. They need to be leaders. When I first started coming to your show, that the traditional woman will really stand out. Yes. There's hardly any women that just want a family. Right. Why aren't we talking about, like, what are your family goals? Or, you know, what do you love about being a woman? We should be emphasizing femininity a little bit more in this culture instead of feministity. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Max. So that's what I have to say about the Miss America pageant. Like I said, I bet we're one step away from having transgenders and gender-neutral people entering the competition, and they whack the Miss, and they just call it a Ms. or a Yiz or whatever these gender pronouns are going to be to make it more inclusive of everyone. Yes. You called it. Watch it happen. Yeah, it's going to happen. We need to champion families reborn. Yes, we need to champion families. Why aren't we talking about families? Why aren't we talking about, I don't know, women marrying, husbands, being supportive to your husband, being supportive to your wife? Why aren't we talking about emphasizing positive fathers and role models? Right? And how much do you want to make a bet? Let's make one more bet now that we're at it. One more bet since we're making bets. So one is that a gay or a transgender person will win the Miss America contest, and they'll enter it, and then they'll win. The other bet is that a very large woman will win the competition, just to make a point. And then another bet I have, here's another bet, my last bet. That this woman will win. I bet she's going to enter and win. Her, DeAnna Burke. You probably more like tyrannical Burke, but DeAnna Burke, she is the founder of the Me Too movement. The founder of the Me Too movement. She was rated as one of the most 100 influential people of Time magazine this year. And I have a very sneaking suspicion that her or someone like her is totally going to enter the Miss America pageant now that it's not judged on looks or beauty anymore or weight. And she's going to win to make a huge example of just how far women have come and how, you know, how powerful women are in this beautiful Me Too world that we now live in, where looks are no longer rated, but intelligence and women's leadership is. So I'll put another $100 in the pot for that. So this is just, you know, right up the same alley, of course. Here's a news article that came in today. And this just goes to show you this is more of this feeding into this agenda that's happening, feeding in to the agenda. Hold on. I've got a lot of things open right now because there's a lot of stories. This came in today. In choosing books for my newborn daughter, I learned something important about my own relationship to literature. My newborn daughter is barely 1, and I'm already choosing books for her to read. As soon as I saw this story, I knew right away this is going to be a feminist propaganda piece. Feminist propaganda piece all the way. How much do you want to make a bet this is all feminist books that she's going to talk about, and filling mothers' minds with these are the kinds of books to read to your children. Ha 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 ha. I feel like feminists are like little witches and they're like whispering in women's ears. Feed this to your children. Indoctrination. So let's see what this hit piece is about. Things to read, books to read to your to your children. And here she talks about my desire to raise a tiny human just as intensely in love with literature as I am. Look at the brainwashing. Reading to my daughter in those early hours of her felt like an act of survival. There's that feminist power language right there. Survival. It's all about survival and fighting with them. I had put more thought into selecting Hello World as my daughter's first book than the obviously title had suggested, and I filled my anticipated child's bookshelves, compiling a baby library before there was even a baby to choose books for. Let's see her book collection. I filled the holes that had been left in my own with bookish childhood, seeking out books with characters who looked and spoke differently than I do. There's all the inclusive talk. Who live in places I might never be and who face challenges I'll never be exposed to. Wild-eyed and observant. Okay, when I finally did get pregnant with a baby girl, of course, because you're probably manifesting it, I shelved Elena Favilli and Francesco Cavello's Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls. Oh, I wonder what that's about. Alongside Margaret Wise Brown, Goodnight Boone, Jennifer Palmieri's Dear Madame President, an open letter to the women who will run the world. Ugh, vomit. Poor baby. She's being indoctrinated and brainwashed before she even gives consent. That's terrible. Look at that. She's being indoctrinated as a Jezebel. An open letter to the women who will run the world. And alongside Dear Zoo and Chelsea Clinton's She Persisted. Oh my God. And Bread and Jam for Francis, also about the value of persistence. So they're training their girls to be young, little rebellious tyrants who don't listen to authority and who just want to rule the world. Wow. And she occupies in the world alongside those, an awareness of the particular place she occupies in the world alongside those of others who are more, both more and less privileged than she will be. So, of course, she's going to be training her to be a little activist rebel. And that's that's one propaganda, feminist propaganda hit piece of the day. Let's look at my other feminist propaganda hit piece of the day that I was outraged by. Here's this. You want to be a feminist father for Father's Day and you want to get a feminist gift for Father's Day? Have no fear. The feminists have got you covered. Let's look at this. 14 Father's Day 2018 gift ideas for your feminist dad. Let's all go through this so we can throw up together and cry together. You want to give your dad a feminist gift? How about you give him a hat that says Feminist AF. Feminist as F-U-C-K. Let's give him a gift. You want to give your dad this? Do you think he'd like this? Do you think he'd appreciate this? Let's look at some more gifts. And is your dad devoted to women's rights and wants to show it? You don't have to get the same old gifts for Father's Day. He probably has enough boring ties and socks that last him until the apocalypse. Instead, why not get your feminist dad something that shows off his commitment to gender equality, subtly or overtly? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is so sad. So let's just see some more material of this. A classic bow tie with, of course, the feminist superhero on it. You think he'd wear that for $21.60, or do you think he'd throw that in the trash? I'd hope he'd throw it. Why don't we give him a book, Nasty Woman? Great, let's give him Nasty Woman book. Feminism, Resistance, and Revolution in Trump's America. Who wants this book for Father's Day? You guys want it? Want to give this to your dad? Wear it on his sleeve. How about this? A great shirt. We should all be feminists. You wanna wear this? Would you be happy if your daughter gave you this shirt? Or if you gave this shirt to your dad? Perfect. Or coasters. We can do it. Yeah, we can, without the help of men, apparently. Oh, let's see, what else? Office appropriate, but still snazzy. Cool. Let's give him feminist socks with a woman that looks like a Satanist. Frida Freak socks. Oh, so great. Oh, wonderful. Feminist AF. A hat. Trucker hat for $14.99. We can get him scotch made by women. I wouldn't trust that as far as I can throw it. Probably has poison in it. Wine made by women. Probably also has poison in it. Wine made by feminists. A donation in his name. It's probably going to child trafficking and women trafficking rings. Chocolate made by feminists. A map. Move faster. Oh, buying this beautiful passport holder for your dad gives women economic empowerment and him a precious gift. And I don't know what that is. Oh, a clipboard. Recycled circuits. Oh, perfect. Oh, a notebook. Oh my gosh. You guys should totally get your dad this gender equality notebook that he could take everywhere, to work, to school, walking around. He can write his journaling, his thoughts in it. Perfect. What do you guys think? Would you just love this gift? A gender equality notebook that he can roam around in? And something for your dad who loves to bake. Oh, cinnamon scrolls, not gender rolls. Wow. Cinnamon scrolls, not gender rolls. Oh, look at that sweet gay man. So what do you say? Would you guys love to have these gifts for Father's Day? Woo! Sounds like my type of Father's Day gift. Not. I highly doubt women made that wine. I will burn these gifts in front of her eyes. Yeah, I will. Is calling a trucker hat too manly? Probably. Not a chance. I thought DeAnna was against equality. Not necessarily against equality. We are all equal from God's eyes. We are intrinsically equal in value, but we have different traits and behaviors and everything. Yep. More like April Fool's gifts. Oh, that's a great idea, April Fool's. Feminist AF. Cinnamon scrolls, not gender rolls. That's one of the funniest things I think I've seen. Not gender rolls, cinnamon Cinnamon scrolls, not gender roles. So funny. Okay, so now that we are talking a little bit more, I have some things to talk to you about now. Okay. I'm just going to try to find this one thing real quick. Sorry, just trying to find this thing. In my comment section. How's everyone doing, by the way? We've got a few minutes left. No, where did it go? Yeah, Halloween gags, I know. Anything else interesting in the news today? Anything else that I didn't go over that you want me to discuss? Well, I can't find it right now, unfortunately. Oh, this is... We got the... This is interesting, actually. We got everyone worrying about the Masterpiece Cake Shop ruling, and this apparently should worry anyone who cares about civil rights. And it's an open door to discrimination, apparently. So this is, of course, worrying 17 magazine. It's riling up the base, getting them all anxious and everything. But yet, shouldn't they be relieved? Shouldn't they be happy? Because this is a good news. This means that people can't give, if a German baker was asked, or a Jewish baker was asked to make a wedding cake with a swastika on it, they can turn it down. And that's a good thing, And in a Muslim baker, if they were asked to bake a cake or something with bacon on it, and they disagreed because of their religious views, isn't that a good thing? Shouldn't we all want that? I don't understand why this is a bad thing. This is a very good thing. But of course, they're wanting to make this into discrimination and fear propaganda. Now, here's another thing. This is what I was trying to look for, and I found it. So, in one of my videos, now I get a lot of comments, okay? A lot of very negative comments. I get a lot of positive comments, but a lot of nasty comments from people that really don't know what the F they're talking about. No offense, but they don't. And one of my comments, this is just something I wanted to draw attention to. This was a video that I released 2 weeks ago on the decline of men and masculinity. And this was the interview I did with the former Navy SEAL, Jeff Bram. And let's see. Let me see if I can just show you real quick. I don't know if you remember, but this was the former Navy SEAL. And it was an awesome interview. I mean, it was like an hour and a half. I divided it into two, and it was a really good interview where he talked about the principles of becoming a Navy SEAL and how that's changed his life and how he leads his life with these principles. And he also does a ministry for men where he really brings in the same principles that taught him to be such a resilient man through the Navy SEALs and brings that into his ministry of helping men. And he also ties scripture into it. He ties God into it. It's a fantastic interview and a really stellar man. And this is, what he talks about is missing these days. It's missing in our society, fathers, strong fathers. And because of the war on masculinity and because of the attack on masculinity, how it's being diminished and men are being diminished, they need more guidance these days. They need more understanding of really just common sense principles of how to be a strong man in the world and how to have a great life, how to have a great relationship, how to have a great family. And a lot of dudes were either super jealous or they just didn't get it, or they're just totally brainwashed by MGTOW, but they were just saying some ridiculous things in the comments. And one of the comments I just want to call out, some guy named Chris Jackson. And he says here, another Navy SEAL telling the rest of men that they are pussies. I'm sorry, DeAnna, but this guy is not helping men. He's shaming them. There's MGTOW language. He's shaming them into giving women what they want because it's good for everybody. This is such a meathead approach to becoming a better man. So, first of all, he never even talked about giving women what they want. He never said that. And I don't think this guy is a pussy. I'm pretty sure he's the furthest thing from a pussy. He's a Navy SEAL who happens to have a wife and family who love and respect him very much. And I'm pretty sure he's the furthest thing from a pushover or a doormat and telling women what to do. But, so what I said is, I'm curious, what is your personal solution and action steps to having men, quote unquote, become better men? Since he's saying that Navy SEAL policies or principles combined with godly principles, probably, he's saying that that doesn't work. Or he's considering that shaming. I said, please list them here and let's compare notes. And what is your success rate, i.e. evidence that you can point to that proves that your solution and action steps actually result in great men that have great lives? Please share. So Chris Jackson, you are a perfect example. Now, I can't wait to use you as an example. I'm calling you out because you are about the 20th person that left a negative comment on that fantastic interview with a Navy SEAL saying that he's shaming men and his tactics don't work and they won't work. They're shaming men into submission. And I would like to challenge you and just say, I want to hear from you. What are your principles? What are your personal success secrets for having men become great men and living, quote unquote, great lives and have great families and wives that respect him? Because that's what he was sharing advice on. Great lives. They have, I forgot to add, great careers. So a career that they love. He loves his job. He goes skydiving for money. He has created a whole career around what he loves to do. It's all about excitement and fun when he goes to work every day. So he loves his career. And he gets paid for it. It's passion. It's a passion job. He loves and respects his family, and his family and wife love and respect him. He loves his life, and he's a leader in his community. So some of his principles were that a man wants that kind of life, then he should be a do something kind of guy. And a do something kind of guy is someone that basically just has balls and uses them. And when he sees a problem, then he offers a solution and he steps up as a leader. And he doesn't run away from challenges or fears. He runs towards them and figures out a way to make it happen. That was the biggest principle that he went over, is just a guy being a do something kind of guy and stepping up to challenges and committing to things rather than running away. And the second thing he talked about is having God in his life. All right, that having a belief in God is something that also pushes him forward. And the third is having mind over matter. So believing in yourself and knowing that you can do something, believing that you can accomplish something, even if your physical body feels like it's giving out or feels like it's physically impossible to do something, having your mind just say, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no other option, and just doing it. So those are the three principles that he went over to be a better man and to have a life basically that other people envy. Have a family and a career that you absolutely love. So I would like to challenge you, Chris Jackson, behind your computer over there. what are your solutions to accomplishing those very things? And I want to know evidence, clear-cut evidence that your solutions work. And I want 3 referrals. So 3 other people that you know, 3 other great men that have those things. So they have a great family and wife that respect him and love them, and that he loves. He has a career that he's passionate about and that he loves and that pays well. And he has a life that he loves. And 4, he's respected in his community. He's well respected. So I want names of 3 men that you know of that have accomplished those things in their life, following your principles that you suggest for being a great man, living a great life. And I want first and last names too, because I am going to Google them. If they truly are reputable in their communities, then they probably are at least somewhat Googleable, or I can look at them on Facebook and look at their lives through social media or Google. And I want these by Friday. So you've got 48 hours to provide me with these things, and you should be able to easily provide them since you seem to know it all. You seem to have the answers, and you seem to have the perfect solutions. So by Friday, I want you to send them to me. You can email me at DeAnna@DeAnnaLorraine.com, or put them in the comment section of the YouTube video that you so graciously trolled. And any of the other people that have left these similar comments saying that this Navy SEAL does not know how to teach men, or he's giving men terrible advice on how to live a great life, I want you to do the same. Feel free to do the same. And let's see by Friday if you could come up with these strategies and with these referrals. And if you can, then I'll share them. I would love to share your secrets personally for what's worked for you and what's worked for other men. Because if you are a leader and you're knowledgeable in this area and you provide me with some great action steps, I would love to share them on my podcast. What do you think, guys? Let's go in the comment section before we take off. On the flip side, from what I've heard, CLC, that's why when I talk to the actual make tiles, they don't women for everything. They know that society is a big social construct and plays women and men against each other. Oh, hey, CLC's here. We've got Chrissy, beautiful Chrissy in the house. Chrissy is a beautiful example of a woman who is red-pilled and joining the ranks of other women who are moving into the light. They appreciate men, and they're wanting to utilize Make Love Great Again principles. CLC, good to see you on here. I wonder why it's more important for a woman to respect a man than the other way around, for attraction to be there. Well, it just kind of, because respect is more important for men, whereas love is more important for women, at least first and foremost. My guess is he will not provide. Yeah, that's my bet too. But let's see. Hey, if he comes forward in 48 hours and he has better advice than a Navy SEAL, which is, I believe only 26 people or so every year in the country become Navy SEALs. It's the most exclusive, rigorous training in the world. I would love to, because this guy must be a millionaire or a genius. It won't happen. Most MGTOWs are nameless. Yeah, they are nameless, but full of shame. Hi, guys. Hey, Chris Jackson, I put a review out there for you. Thanks, David. Tell me a dirty story. Oh, Chris, I think I was just talking about you, actually. DeAnna, do you think it's true? It's only men who need to be the ones to know how to get a date or get into a relationship. No, absolutely not. I believe women need to know how to be in a relationship too, especially these days. And they need to know how to stay in relationships. They need to know how to keep their man happy. And I am teaching women as well as men. I absolutely believe that women need to learn relationship and dating skills for sure. Hey, Wanta Race, how are you? Everyone, go ahead and subscribe to CLC on YouTube and Twitter. She's got a great YouTube account where she reviews wonderful books that she reads. She's got a lot of insight, and she's a wonderful, beautiful person. And she is a woman, and she is not a crazy feminist. So we need to get more women like Chrissy in the house. No, Chris, you didn't cause trouble, but you just left a comment shaming the Navy SEAL and saying why his advice basically sucks for men, and you apparently have better solutions than the Navy SEAL. So all I'm doing is calling you on it and asking you to provide those new solutions by Friday so I can share them with everybody else. Because I like sharing strategies, and if there's great strategies out there, I want to share them. Chris, it's a comment, and you know how that goes, because I even read it. I knew this was going to come. That's funny. Yes, you guys, and I'm actually having a note, but I don't have time for it to talk about it today, but on Friday I'm going to talk about my new rules for commenting on my YouTube channel. How do you keep a man happy? I'll have to share the link, but I found an interesting video. Really honored by all you are doing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, the mic drop. Well, Chris, you got to provide it. Provide it by Friday. Think hard, or else why did you leave the comment? Thanks, G-Money. You know, becoming the best man that you can is an individual accomplishment. None of the steps can never be the same. Maybe bits and pieces, but the major not over the time. I think in a way, yes, but I think that people can provide guidance and advice. And if you look at someone like a Navy SEAL who is highly accomplished, at least we can kind of agree that he may be on a higher level than a lot of men. He has his life in order typically, and he accomplishes a lot of things, especially mind over matter kind of things that a lot of men don't. So whenever we like to look at a superior, like someone who is an example of someone who has accomplished a lot, it's important, I think, to like look at their strategies and dissect what happened. It's like the 7, habits of highly successful people, or Tony Robbins' success secrets. There's not necessarily one specific formula. I totally agree with you on that. But at least we can look at what is working for a lot of people. There's obviously some patterns that people follow. There's a pattern of secrets and strategies that people can use, and if they apply those strategies that a lot of people have used and gotten the same great results, isn't it wise then to dissect them and look at them? Thank you, CLC. You inspire me too. We need more women like you, Chrissy. We need more women like you, and congrats on your amazing YouTube channel. That takes a lot of work and a lot of courage. It's a different level. It depends on what the level is, as it has a degree of what is considered high. I'm referring to his Navy SEAL accomplishments. I follow other people and I suggest others to those people. Chrissy, I would love to know if any of the radiance principles that I put in my book, the principles of radiance, if that has helped you at all in your love life or even in your life at all. Has it made you feel better or more confident, more loving, more appreciative towards men? Has any of my principles of my book, Making Love Great Again, has that helped you at all? And by the way, if you have not joined my Facebook group, Making Love Great Again, make sure you join it. Making Love Great Again Facebook group. Look it up. Join the group so we can get other men, red-pilled men and women in there. Jordan Peterson is an example of another great man, for sure. But why can't we respect advice that a Navy SEAL is giving men? Why can't we respect his advice as well as Jordan Peterson's advice? There's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all. Jordan Peterson has fantastic advice for men, for sure. But also Navy SEALs has fantastic advice for men too. Why can't we respect all of these guys' advice for men? As long as it's not degrading and shaming and making them feel bad. Jordan Peterson does share most of my beliefs anyways. Although I haven't posted as much. I post 3 times a week. I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe have Chrissy as a guest on the show. Yeah, let's have Chrissy as a guest on my show. I would love to have you on the show. I want to gather up more women and more men to be on my show, especially women, though. You can disagree with him, but you're telling me that you left the comment saying that his advice sucks. And his advice was shaming men. You said that his advice was considered meathead advice, and it was bad advice. That's what you said. So what I would like to know is, what solutions do you have that are better for men? And it definitely didn't sound in the comments like you respected him. And I don't think there's anything wrong with telling guys that it's great to be a do-something kind of guy, a man who steps up and does things instead of just stays there. I mean, that's the same thing I say all the time. Use your balls, right? Step up and do things instead of being in the sidelines, right? I always say winners don't wait. Procrastinators are forever masturbators. If you want to have a great life, you should be a do-something kind of guy, and someone who also puts mind over matter sometimes. He believes in himself, and he wants, he believes that he can accomplish more than what sometimes his brain or his body is telling him. Yes, for sure, Chrissy. Yeah, and also the Navy SEALs have definitely served our nation. And that's a different kind, that's a totally different kind of courage than what Jordan Peterson is providing. Jordan Peterson is courageous and masculine and great and smart, and the Navy SEAL is providing a different kind of courage that is masculine and great and smart, and he's really serving our country as well. Mike Rowe is another great person, another great example of a great man. So, guys, I hate to leave you. I love you, but we are going to have to wrap up because it is that time. I always feel like the hour just passes by so quickly. Okay, perfect time for the prayer, because we want more women and men to join the light. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Time for the closing prayer. Dear Lord, I pray that more women and men see the light and can open their hearts to love instead of hate, can open their minds to unity rather than divisiveness, can open their minds to truth rather than lies. I pray for love and protection for our great president and for his family and all those working against us, working for us, that they remain safe and resilient in the face of so many forces working against us. I pray for all of you and the truth warriors of the world who are courageously speaking the truth and boldly working to bring those who are in the darkness into the light. Put on the full armor of God so that you will be able to stand firm against the schemes of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in heavenly places. I pray for all of you that all of you find true and lasting love, and that God puts an incredible partner in your life to be with you during this journey and bring you the beautiful family, the joy, and all the blessings that you deserve. And lastly, we know that good conquers evil, that love conquers hate, and together with God's help and grace, we are able to make our country and our world great again. Amen. Okay, guys, that wraps up today's show. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Thanks for being open-minded and open-hearted. And I will see you Friday at 9 a.m. sharp, 12 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks, guys. Bye. And of course, you're welcome to stay and hang out in the chat room as long as you want.